Rodney Stafford says one of his daughter's killers was moved to a medium security prison in March, and he only found out about it today. His 8-year-old daughter, Tori, was killed by Terri-Lynne McClintic and Michael Rafferty in 2009. Stafford raised concerns earlier this year when he found out that McClintic had been transferred to an Indigenous healing lodge. Last month, she was transferred back to prison. Now Stafford has been told that Michael Rafferty was moved from maximum security to a medium security institution. Why did it take so long for Corrections Services to let him know? Tori Stafford's father, Rodney Stafford, joins us now from Woodstock, Ontario. Hi, Mr. Stafford. Thanks for making time for us.
No problem. Good evening.
Can you walk us through how you found out? The last time we spoke, it was about Terri-Lynne McClintic being moved to a healing lodge, and she's since been moved back to a more traditional prison. How did you find out about Michael Rafferty?
A couple of weeks ago, I had requested from Correctional Service Canada documents regarding Michael Rafferty because I hadn't heard any information regarding him over the last little while either. So during this whole time, we've been going through this whole thing with Terri-Lynne McClintic and the downgrading of her security and everything. CSC knew that Michael Rafferty was already downgraded and had been transferred as well.
And so you're saying you asked for this information and that they told you, I think I understand it was a letter that they sent to you, and you just got that letter today.
I just received a letter today. I had requested the information about 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't expecting to see that he had been transferred or lowered in security, definitely not. But yeah, it was quite the shock today to find out that even the second killer involved with my daughter's murder is getting lowered security. And these people are the worst of the worst criminals. I'm not understanding this.
How did it feel? I mean, I can imagine your frustration, but on top of everything that you went through around Terri-Lynne McClintic's transfer, what sort of frustration did you feel reading this in a letter today?
Well, I have a lot of frustrations because Corrections Service Canada has had my information since August 20th. It's included in the documentation they sent today. They've had my information, so for the last 3 months, they've withheld my right to this information.
Do you have to, I mean, what's your understanding? Do you have to ask for that information? Do you feel like it should have been proactively given to you from the second that you started raising concerns about Terri-Lynne McClintic, for example?
Exactly. It should have been. Everything to do with both criminals should have been effective, seeing as how we're involved with the same situation. Like, why none of this was ever brought up during any conversation whatsoever through anybody, even sitting down with Ann Kelly. We had asked her directly to her face, was there any change to Michael Rafferty that we need to know about, or I should know about? And that too was dodged, and I never did get an answer. So I got my answer today, apparently.
And just so that I'm clear and our viewers are clear, Ann Kelly, she's the head of Corrections Services, is that correct?
She is the Commissioner of Corrections, correct.
And you met with her when?
I'm not quite certain of the date. If I saw my calendar, that was about 3 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago.
So in that meeting,
we met at her. Yeah.
Sorry. So in that meeting, you met her and you asked her, was there anything else you should know about the people responsible for your child's death, and what was her response?
We basically got dodged with every question that we had asked. All they wanted to keep talking about was the policy changes they had made and what they have done and who's doing this, but they couldn't give us any answers as to what we were trying to find out and how this was possible with Terri-Lynne. And now, a couple weeks later, I'm finding out Michael Rafferty is too working his way through the system for no reason.
And when you saw that, I've seen the piece of paper that shows that he was transferred. When you saw that, label medium security, what was your immediate reaction?
Yeah. My heart sunk, because to me, Corrections Service Canada isn't withholding justice that the judicial system has put into place. A year and 4 months before his transfer, he sat before 3 appeal judges that said, you're right where you belong in maximum security. So where CSC gets the right to just say, hey, no, you get to go to medium because we feel like it. It's not right.
Has there been any effort on the part of Corrections Services to try and explain why they made that decision to you?
No, I haven't contacted them directly as of yet.
Do you plan to?
Yes, probably later, within a little while.
The government, I mean, when you first raised your concerns about Terri-Lynne McClintic and her transfer to the Healing Lodge, the government did embark on a review of the process. They ended up making changes that resulted in Ms. McClintic being transferred back to a more traditional prison. What are you looking for here?
Yep. I'm looking for both of them to serve their sentence in max security where they belong and be labeled dangerous offenders, which they are. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. There's nothing correct about this. There's nothing right about this. Corrections Service Canada is messing up bad, and it's affecting all Canadians, not just myself.
Do you think there's a role for the government here? Do you have an ask of the government in this?
Do I have a? I'm sorry. Can you ask that again?
Do you think there's a role for the Prime Minister, for the Minister, for example, who called for the review in Terri-Lynne McClintic's case? Do you think that they need to sort of intervene, ask Corrections Services to review what they've done here, that kind of thing?
Oh, definitely. Right from the beginning. Like, right from the very beginning. There is no reason why either of these two people should be working their way through the correctional system. They're child killers. They got max sentence. Leave them where they belong. Okay. Why does the Canadian public's lives have to become to risk?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Stafford. I really appreciate your time today.
No problem. Thank you.